Hi, this is Matt with the Intergalactic Herald. Welcome to my Star Atlas Week in Review podcast. This is podcast number 99. Any articles or videos mentioned can be found on my website at intergalacticherald.com. Please look for news recap number 147. So just a quick summary of things we've been going over this past week. We had Dom, one of the community team members, doing a walkthrough of the new, I guess we'll keep calling it the showroom, but definitely the UE5 version of Star Atlas. There was an Atlas Brew where they also did another demo of UE5. And then I'm not sure which exact time it came out, but I didn't read it till Friday. In Discord, there was a very long announcement from the CEO, Michael Wagner, about some of the issues rated around the Sage, or I guess we'll call it the Solana transaction issues. So that's content for today. But before I get to that, just a couple updates on projects that I'm working on. One, I do have a DAO PIP idea out there for an in-person community meetup platform. If you go to the Star Atlas Discord and the DAO section and PIP ideas, you'll see it there with that name and my name. Really appreciate any feedback. If you have any questions, that'd be great. Otherwise, if you like it, I appreciate a thumbs up. Once I can get to 25, then I can move to the next phase and start drafting the proposal in detail. Also, I do have a merch store, Intergalactic Gear. It is still a work in progress. It does sell Star Atlas mugs with both Star Atlas logos and faction logos. Trying to get more products out. Hope this weekend, but if you've listened to my podcast, you know every weekend I say I'm going to hope to get to it, but we'll see. And then the last project I'm working on is a Star Atlas community for gamers that aren't members of guilds, would prefer a different kind of platform than the chat-based one of Discord, more about threaded discussions and email alerts when you want to check, so you don't have to be looking at it and lose track of conversations. If you go to intergalacticcoalition.com, there's an interest survey. Fill that out, and once we get enough interest, I'll start building that community. So let's go ahead and get into the main content. The Star Atlas team was back at work, but not a lot of updates, which makes sense. I was back at work too, and just keeping my heads down, trying to get back into the swing of things at work and keep my clients and my marketing agency all happy. But Dominic, one of the community team members, did put out a YouTube video on his personal YouTube channel. You can find the link in my news recap, just going through kind of the walkthrough of the different changes in the update. So I think that was very great. So again, you want to look at more than just what was given at the town hall. He did highlight many things. Additionally, we did have the Atlas Brew this past week. It too was a demo of the new UE5 thing. So again, I guess there was the Starbase that moves into the Project Gallia, where you can zoom between planets, looking at those planets. Let's see, what else did they go over? I don't know if they went over the racing. They definitely went over the kind of, I guess they're calling it gunplay, but I'll call it a shooter. So anyways, another great thing. More of an overview on both those. If you want more in-depth, point to Beyond the Horizons video series. I think he's done 5 now of different parts of that were gone over in that. So definitely check him out. And then the last kind of content, which kind of still trying to exactly figure out, but again, even if I knew where it was probably something I read in the Foundation Room. But Michael Wagner, the CEO, did write a pretty long, detailed announcement in the Discord channel, so hence public knowledge. And I'm not sure, again, what he was responding to, but he definitely wanted to address the entire thing, and a lot of it related to the Solana transaction issues. And what I also really appreciate about it is it kind of gave some of the current state of their thinking, their original vision, which, again, always nice to hear that mentioned, of, hey, what are we trying to do? And again, the vision was, and took a lot of time writing it, so there's a lot of good details there. It wasn't just, I assume he wrote it and edited it and, fine-tuned it, or else he's just an incredible writer and can just do it off the top of his. I don't know. But anyway, it had a lot of details there. So he again reminded that the ultimate idea of Star Atlas, and again, there's Star Atlas the game, there's Star Atlas the metaverse. Anyways, that its goal is to be a globally accessible, decentralized MMO with all the other things we think of. So that, again, was nice to hear. The other thing that is very important to Star Atlas, the company, is the idea of the composability. Composability. The idea that since it's on the blockchain and they're all doing APIs to the different things they're building, other people can build on top of it. And again, we've seen that with the Sly Assistant tool, the EVI to get data and things like that, and other things that are coming down, a lot of the things that were built for the hackathon. So again, that composability is a very important ethos of what they're trying to develop and how they differentiate Star Atlas from other games that are out there. So again, it was nice to hear that again. Again, it set the vision, but the other key point that brought up in that announcement was, again, that the blockchain integration is an integral part of their vision. And again, it allows for the composability, it allows for the global accessibility, the decentralization, and all those things. So I think, again, the key was to state that, but then immediately start talking about, well, we understand that there are the Solana transaction issues. It is causing problems with the Sage game. It is hampering, quote unquote, fun of playing it because, again, if you have to click and refresh in there. So it sounded like he decided to kind of give us a little bit of the behind the scenes on what the team had been talking about, and also referencing that the team has been talking about this for a while. And so it's not something they're just now, oh yeah, it's bad, we got to fix it, but that there isn't a quick fix. He'd want to stress that there wasn't a quick fix, there wasn't an immediate fix, but a lot of different things, but it has to fit the vision. And so one of the things that was brought up, and this is where, again, my lack of understanding of the blockchain technology, I mean, I can understand it, but when you start throwing around acronyms and different topics, like what's a level 1, I don't really know. So I kind of have to read between the lines to figure it out. So if you want all the details and all those acronyms, please do check out the announcement on Discord. But it was mentioned, we've heard before, that Star Atlas has their own, I guess we'll call it clone, for lack of a better term, of Solana, the blockchain, so that they can do their testing of all their programs that affect or what Star Atlas the game is. So it sounded like one thought was they could just make that the real thing, and then that could take care of transaction issues, speed, making sure when you do a transaction it actually occurs, and things like that. But then as the article kind of ended, it kind of went more into the could have, maybe, this could take years. So I probably should reread it again, but it was late, so I got one pass. But the summary, to me at least, was there was lots of options. The team has been thinking about ideas to deal with the issues, and I'm going to say that was the main takeaway from it, is the team is aware, they're doing things, but nothing is an immediate fix, because that's both the blessing and the curse of working on another platform is it provides you all the benefits, but it also means you're kind of there. And again, a lot of it, I think, is they were saying all the meme coins have been built on Solana. It makes sense because Solana is good for those, but then it affects that. So anyways, again, it's a great read. Lots of great information, a lot of kind of high-level thinking about vision and strategy, but also saying, hey, we're aware of what we might do in the future. But again, I don't think anything was like, this is what we're going to do, but it's more of letting the community know we are aware of it. So anyways, and so just sort of my last two sections, kind of my state of Star Atlas and my journey, just a little more, I guess, editorializing on the Solana issues. And I've said this before, I mean, I do think, unfortunately, the Solana transaction fees are kind of the big, I guess kind of a big barrier to entry, but only in the sense that they cost money, and that those costs don't actually contribute to your gameplay or the larger community. It's just the part of being on there. But again, Michael Wagner addressed some of those in his thing about, well, maybe the DAO could pay him, maybe this, maybe that. And again, so there's no clear-cut answer of how to do it. But I guess the thing that is kind of in reflection upon it is, and I've said this before, I mean, I just want to play a game. And it is cool it's on the blockchain. It's cool that you own your NFTs. That's different than other games. But I guess if you are just building a game, then these are unnecessary. You could move to other alternatives, build your own blockchain, other things like that. But now that we've been restated or reinforced the vision, especially the composability, but the idea that, eventually the DAO could own the game and basically it'd be its own self-running economy, group, whatever you want to call it, it does make sense that you have to have all these things, even if there are hiccups and slowdowns and growing pains. So it makes sense. And then I guess if you flip the coin again, if you just don't care about that and you're just going to build a game, well, then you're not any different than any other game. So I guess it's very good that it's restated. It helps reinforce that this is different. It is being built the first of its kind, and they're not trying to do this like any other MMO. I mean, they are trying to add all these things. So again, either option is a perfectly valid fork in the road, but it's more of the team and the owners, I guess. I mean, employees do what the co-founders want to do. I mean, if the co-founders want to do this, then that's what they're going to do. And there's nothing wrong with having that. Many people have many visions. Whether it's successful or not, that's a totally different issue. But that's not wrong to have a vision. I mean, businesses fail, ideas fail, groups fail. Anything, failure is not a downside. I mean, we want things to succeed, but if it fails, that's not that anything was wrong. It just failed. So yeah, I mean, it was a really great thing to hear. Really great to reinforce what the plan is. But in the short term, and a lot of it unfortunately is, hey, what's now, is that it was stated that there is no immediate solution. This is how the Solana blockchain works currently. There could be changes from the blockchain side. There could be changes from Star Atlas's side. So there are solutions, but they could still be years away. And not to end on a kind of whatever, but I mean, that is, I think, part of the problem, that it's always years away. And I've been in this for how many years? So, but again, this is really only reflecting on how to make the blockchain better, and that being transactions on the blockchain succeeding and the cost to do those transactions. So again, even though the whole game, the metaverse, the ecosystem is years away from fully realizing their original vision, that part still makes sense. The individual Solana issues is maybe an unfortunate thing because, again, supposed to be good, but growing pains. So anyways, but again, I think that's just part of the reality of building something to this scope. And again, I've said this many times on the podcast, time can be compressed with more resources, i.e. employees, humans, but those resources require time, and to get more time, which means money. To get more money, you need more people. I mean, again, it's a spiral, whatever type of thing. So, and again, my personal game philosophy is I'm okay with time because it's fine. It takes a long time to craft a ship, so be it. So anyways, I guess the end is there isn't a clear-cut path, but what I think, and I'm going to say it, whatever the community thinks is kind of irrelevant. It's what the team wants to do because they're the ones building it. And I know the promise of the DAO is there, but again, they have a vision. They founded the company. They're going to move forward in the direction they want to go. We can choose to go along with that. We are welcome to give our opinion. It may be taken, it may not be, but it's sort of where we're at. So again, a little still disappointing when the word years comes up, but it is a big undertaking, and so it makes a lot of sense. So anyways, the last thing on the UE5 showroom, I was going to play it last week once I got my computer rebuilt. Ran out of time, so I was going to do it this week, but then I heard on the Atlas Brew they did mention the bugs, specifically the wallet bug that allows you not to get your current wallet in, and they said they will probably come up with a fix soon. So I decided I'm just going to wait. And then, because why go through the hassle when everybody knows there's a bug and kind of that initial getting back into it because of connecting your wallet. So, however, I did realize something. I had the feeling this is what I did last time it came out and never got back to it. So going to try my hardest, but don't feel like messing with it when I know there's a new hot fix type of thing for this issue coming out. So we'll see, but that's what I'm going to do. So moving on to the last section, which is sort of my journey. Still been transporting all my carbon from the Starbase back to the CSS. It does feel like it's taking forever. Now I am subwarping to keep the fuel costs down. So obviously it's taking longer, but if you're mining and you're never using fuel, and it's just basically how much rate of mining and unload and reload and mine again. Obviously this is load, wait, I don't even know how long it takes to go between the two. So yeah, definitely slow. I actually realized it was going through fuel. It seemed to jump faster, but I have to go back to my notes and see where I started. So I actually had to craft some of the hydrogen I had mined originally, kind of in preparation for this. So that worked out pretty good. And so now I don't feel like I'm going to run out, though I'm getting pretty close to needing some more Sol for the fees. So anyways, we'll just keep doing that because, again, I haven't had any time to research the local market option of seeing if I could just sell the carbon there and not pay basically whatever cost. Well, let me see if I remember correctly. So I have to figure out the cost of the fuel to move back and forth, then take that fuel cost, convert it into something comparable, I guess we'll call it probably Atlas, and then see how much Atlas I can get from just selling the carbon, assuming anybody wants to buy the carbon at that place. So still, I think, a valid thing to research, but because I don't have any time, I'll just keep moving my own carbon. So we'll see. But again, still doing it. Anyways, so that's pretty much it. Thanks for listening. Again, still looking, had my first guest, so first guest in a while, so I should at least acknowledge that. But again, still interested in anybody else who'd like to get on and chat again. Could be about the week in review, could be about your thing you're doing in Star Atlas if you're a builder or creator. Obviously, love to talk to any team members. Again, topics would be kind of beginners type stuff. So anyways, and then please do check out my merch store, intergalacticgear.com, open for business. You can buy a mug soon. There might be some posters, and I do have a merch survey there, so I'd love to get any feedback of things you might be interested in. And again, if you want to hang out with other gamers, trying to put together my own community of people that aren't in guilds, it's at intergalacticcoalition.com. Please take a look at that. Otherwise, thanks for listening. Hope you have a great week ahead. This is Matt with the Intergalactic Herald.